All right. It's I. It is him. It is. Let's adjust ourselves first. Adjust ourselves properly. Yeah. We don't want you to see what's going on down there. Sorry, that's pay per view, and I decided I'm not gonna. It's not for pay per view. But I wait a minute. That didn't come out right. It's a good one. Double entendre there. What's it called? Onomatopoeia. BB-8. You know what would help if you show it. You know what this is? OG chai spice with a special ingredient. Reason I'm putting the special ingredient is because I know this chick is coming to LA. This porn star chick, this one I like, this older one. Um, she gets the decent, the big bucks, is what I call it for me, big bucks anyway. What do you give her, Warrior Junior? How much do you pay? How much do you pay? How much do you pay? Doesn't matter, does it? Well, um, we'll just say, I give her a good amount. Figure it out. All right, okay. So let's get to the narrative. Let's get to the topic. We'll have a gay old time. Of course not, but the Flintstones theme. So it came into my mind. So I thought that's kind of funny. We'll have a gay old time, like happy. So Saturday night, I went to the shortstop. The place that I said, oh, I'm gonna make up for the Friday night disaster. Go back to listen to my last episode if you want to know. Garbage. I don't like looking back. I like living in the present, focusing on the future. It's like so. I lay down for a little bit. I don't generally like to do that because when I lay down, my system kind of shuts down. So I don't like if I have to leave at 9 at night. I lay down at 7 at night for really it takes me time to get dressed. And I get up. So you know, uh, my stomach is not. You know, I don't like doing that. Laying down for an hour, it's just not good for me. Either I really crash, or I stay up because then I'm like my system's baseline. Like I'm functional. Um, but I do that. I laid down for an hour and I was like, am I gonna go? Am I gonna go? And I was like, all right, let's go. Let's go to fucking shortstop. And I get there and I start seeing a different crop of people in there. I go, well, okay, well, it's Saturday night. What's going on? I know there's DJ. I know, and I start seeing like a lot of dudes, like with other dudes. The gay vibe. Now, again, I look. I live in West Hollywood, so it's not. I'm not. I don't hate them. I have nothing against the gays. But my point of me going elsewhere is to get away from that element. I don't care for the flamboyance. The music is not good. That in West Hollywood, it's just not conducive to my dancing. It just doesn't flow. It's just offbeat. I'm sorry. It's sloppy. It's not good music. Um, no disrespect to the gays. It's just not my scene. Um, you know. So I go in there and I'm like, what? And I look at they have the schedule of like basically music. It's dancing every night, but on Saturday nights, the second Saturday of the month, they do like it just said house. It said kind of progressive house music. Now there were a lot of chicks in there. One chick, she had this really cute, like a disco-ish sequenced outfit. I did approach her. She was tall. She was her size, and she goes, "Oh, you only live once." And I said, I really needed a better comeback for that one. Um, and she walked off. I know she was with a guy, and I was thinking to myself, hey, let's instead of getting pissed off and walking out of there, because I no they opened the set. I have to admit, I wasn't expecting the DJs to play good music for that for this crowd, but the DJ was pretty fucking tight. I had to admit. Even he opened up with that dun, 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 you know, the magic, you know, I forget the name of the song, but I Fab Five Freddy, I mean, you know, but it was just good, you know, like so I was doing some dancing. I stayed, um, and just you know the floor was getting kind of crowded. They got back this pool table apparently, which in the back room, so I couldn't dance around like I was used to, you know, doing. So you know, it's kind of like I couldn't see myself really hooking up with a chick. I mean, you know, so then I went to the next block away to that nice kitty place or whatever the you know place that I went before. And Saturday night the DJ is playing like Rasta music. You know, it was really bad. It was like slow, chill kind of weed smoking, you know, Rasta music. You know, it was not for a Saturday night. It just wasn't. It wasn't good. And so I left there around, you know, 11, whatever, 11:30. And then I remember, oh shit, Saturday night's a Funky Soul is at the El Cid. You know, they play funky soul music. I said, oh, perfect. You know, I said, all right, so I slept down there. I got there around midnight, actually maybe 11:30 ish. And I get into this place and it's fucking packed. Packed. So the dance floor, no fucking way. I couldn't even get on it. It was like ridiculous. Now I didn't even like the funk. It was really bad soul music, like really bad. You know, not even. And when I say bad, I mean not tight. I mean like sucks. You know. Now when I say good, you know what? I'll tell you when something's. Oh, dude, it was bad. You know, it was hard. You know. No, this was this guy whoever was playing this. It wasn't funk, and it wasn't really soul. It was like it just didn't have like really anything. It wasn't good, and even they had this the outdoor kind of extended patio kind of thing with another DJ that wasn't good either, and there was no room to dance. There's no place. It's just no, you know. I paid $10. I don't give a fuck, you know. So I left there, and then I said, you know, three fucking places, and you just can't fucking win. A bus, but you know, it's like, and then I just what gives me some type of solace, some peace is like just knowing that, look, man, I went out for decades, a couple decades, man, and you know, you never get that time back. You never be able to, no matter if I dressed like I did with my cute little tie and my hat on my head and my vest, sport coat, whatever. You're never gonna get it back. Um, Try to stay active. Try to, you know, but there's just no way. You know, you're 48, and that's the reality. Times change, places change, people change, everything change. You know, just the way it is, man. It's the fucking way it is, and you know, there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I remember on Sunday night, set at the shortstop. They have funk Sundays. Um, I might go. Yeah, we'll see. Um, Now next Saturday night is the Irvine. You know, the older people that I go. I'm gonna be at the Irvine Hilton, and um, I really like that ballroom's big. You know, it's big. So And that's good for dancing. That's I should ask. I better call up, make sure it's in the main ballroom. It's in the big one. It's not in some small little nothing. I'll make sure and get some clarification before I schlep all the way down there. Very far, very inconvenient. Irvine is very inconvenient for me because further than Anaheim, and it's just what can you do? So I wound up catching a bus back, dumped me off, and I walked by the den. I wound up at Piggy. It was like 1 o'clock, no DJ upstairs, playing some bad garbage music in there, and I just stood out there, looked around. I saw some angry woman that was like pretty good looking, and I just didn't want her demeanor. It was like she was pissed off at this one guy, and I just didn't want to. Trying to be upbeat, like when I was like, you don't fucking know what's going on with people. And I don't want the hurricane to come down on me because I've had that. I've had these women, anyone took me up with you. Like I've had all that shit, man, and it is just not, these women get so attached with these losers, these bad. I think I saw this one chick. This guy had her in a fucking headlock, like in a neck breaking move. Like I'm not exaggerating. I saw this and I just had to walk away. I had enough. I just. Just can't, find any place that's good for me. I can't. As hard as I try. I can't believe there's so many fucking people in that LC. I can't believe it for that. That funky soul. Why? It's just the music was not good. It's like, there were a lot of chicks in all these places, and I'll say it's just that they're walking, they're busy, they're going with their friends, and it's not a good social. These places are not conducive social meeting environments for sincerely single people. They're just not good. They're I hold the contention you have to get at least 35 miles away from LA to be able to, to find something, that different. It's got to be far removed. I'm telling you, there's something that is about LA. LA is a very fast-paced, uppity, in a hurry. It's not a place to chill. It's even at the beach, even at Santa Monica, people like moving around fast. It's not a place to calmly meet somebody at a cool, relaxed way, to be able to do it. You can't. And that's why I hold the contention. You got to get there about 35 miles away from this. And, well, where do you go? I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm trying to tell how I feel. 35 miles away. Bogies, the Westlake Inn in Westlake Village, toward the Thousand Oaks out there. Maybe it's not 35, and it might be. Maybe it's close, but it's the separation of it, like of Westlake Village compared to Metro LA Metro. It's separated by Hidden Hills, Calabasas, Rolling, whatever the once you on the 101, once you Thousand Oaks, Woodland Hills. I'm sorry. it's good enough. It's it's far enough away. That's where it starts. That's like where, if you're going west, northwest, north by northwest, was it the James Cagney where the plane coming over your head is gonna not take your head off? Jimmy Stewart or something? I don't know. I don't know. Clarence, barely, the Zuzu's pedals. I could eat you up. What? You're a scurvy little spider. That goes for you too. And that goes for you too. $2. It was that guy. He's like the drunk. Like he was a friend. It's like, and then like the Clarence when it was like you were never born. It shows like the guy. They make like they squirt him with the water. Like he's a drunk. Like Bert Ernie's just, like he knew he was a philanthropic guy, like he had a savings and loans. Everybody knows, he trusts, his business and everything. But because he was never born, the world, it didn't work out that way. Like, it's an amazing, it's a Wonderful Life is a masterpiece. If you've never seen it, I'm not a fan of black and white film, but and I don't like, kind of families, things. But let me tell you something. It's a Wonderful Life, Pottersville. But It's a Wonderful Life. I call it It's a Miserable Life, but It's a Wonderful Life is like, dude. Every kid should see it. Like, the parents should say, "You got to see this. This is like." It's a lesson. It's like learning. It's a movie of life. It's really that important. The guy comes back from the Navy. Yeah, this is great, fucking unbelievable. I think I always miss the first like 15 minutes of it, but I've seen the whole thing. Um, George Bailey. Yeah, it was like you were never born. Clarence, he jumps into the fucking water. Unbelievable. The guy loses the 5,000. And go to Europe once or twice a year. I remember. Yeah, that was. Yeah. Down. I don't know where I was going, but sometimes I just go off, my thought, the way I think sometimes. Um, you know, I try to. It's hard. It's hard because you think back and you're like, wow, I used to go to like these places to go dancing, Dublin's, like there was room, this, and I went here and it was there, and I went there and it was here. Florentine Gardens or whatever, the Hop. I could name a million places. I ran around; they're all gone. You know. Oh, I was talking about 35 miles away. I guess if you go east, like old Pasadena could be where it kind of starts. Kind of get a little different vibe. The old Pasadena, Club 54, I remember, or whatever. There was another place that was near there. They had a floor. This bar, I forget the name of it, but got more of a not so LA-ish vibe when you get out to that area when you're going east. So Pasadena is mine. That's not 35 miles away, but it's a good, you know, from where I live, in the West Hollywood center of fucking, God. I mean, I'm sorry, man. I am not trying to be a curmudgeon. I mean, and I'm not trying to complain, but it's like, it's just my life experience. I can tell you from almost 50 years old, like everywhere I've gone, I can just tell you like what's up, like as far as vibe goes. Vibe, now there used to be in the valley, there used to be some decent places. I mean, it was like I would go out and it was fun. some good times, going out dancing, and these chicks. And I mean, it was like, and I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't fucking know what happened. Like, it's like what happens is you get older and, everything continues. I understand, like, but it's like, I hate that because like society tries to put you in a fucking in a confine you and saying, well, dude, you're too old. You shouldn't be going here. I mean, there was an episode on King of Queens. I remember, like, it was the guy. I know that Kevin James. I forget the character, but you know what I mean. They go to a nightclub thing for whatever. They're standing in line. They're like, they're old compared to the younger people that are there. And it's like they make fun of you. Like you're kind of, now. I'm not saying they make fun of me, like when I go to these places, but it's like and I hate to use the word like a toxic environment of the LA metro-ish vibe of going out to places. Like I hate, because I don't want to come off negative or curmudgeon, because that doesn't help. Complaining with any endeavor, whatever it is, does not create solutions to any problem. Of how it is. I'm not here to answer questions. I just do this live. So, if it's your thing, you are welcome. If it's not, you are welcome to go elsewhere. Uh, anyway, what I try to figure out is like, okay, well, was it that because I was younger, like I was going out and I was part of more of the scene 25 years ago about, or was it like, or was it, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I name all these places, the places that I would go to, and you know, it's it's like what do you fucking do? And the thing is, it's so easy to go downhill, like, off the thing, going, fuck everybody, these all fuck the women, they're all bitches. And it's not true. It's not true. I listened to Jordan Peterson talk about this. He made some fantastic points, and he relates all this. He goes, look, if you're a guy, a normal, the women have it's not easy for them. It's not easy. They have a lot to lose. A woman has a lot to lose if she gets pregnant, and the guy, you have to. I know, for being a guy, it's not easy, because you're looking at the beautiful woman. You're like, oh my God, I want to fuck her. Yeah, yeah. You don't understand. Like, it's like, if you're like me and you have good taste, like, it sucks, because like you're seeing, like, it's not like food, like where you see something. Oh, I want an In-N-Out burger, it's really good. You go and you buy it and they give it to you and it's good, right? Well, I see a beautiful woman. It's not like you go, you say, you're so beautiful, like, can I fuck you? And no, who the hell are you? Like, I'm you crazy? So you see, it's like, and these pickup artists, they all try to like go out and say, well, no, you have to, like, look, you don't, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Like, you could come at me with, I listen to all these guys, the PUAs, the Attractive Man, that I've read all the books, everything, the Mystery Net. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. LA, this environment, like where I'm in specifically, the LA, the entire LA metro, what I consider from Santa Monica to downtown, north to the valley-ish, we can go up to the Northridge, south to San Pedro, whatever. That's considered all of LA County, LA City. The whole thing is a very fast-paced, um, competitive, combative scene, period. And that's why I keep holding the contention. For me, it's like, dude, you have to go 35 miles out of this to be able to maybe to go after whatever it is, like for me. And again, this is my show. This is like I say, how this applies to me specifically. This is my own unique individual battle, like that what I deal with, it's not the same. It's very specific for me. It's and again, like you know, and I've been doing this for a while, so it's not a generic PUA. It's not a generic. There's no. You cannot change social conditioning. You cannot change the way society functions. Let me give you an example. What happened tonight? Like, place that I went up to on Sunset, and this bar, and this woman came out. Like I was talking when I got there. It's almost this is a couple hours ago, and this, and she angry, like, and then she's arguing with, I don't know if she's with this guy, and I'm just seeing how mad she is, and I go, I can't, I you know I her mind is, like, no, it's over, like, whoever she's with, I could see, like, she was just angry, and it just I'm so sick and tired of, of a combination of them getting pissed off at me, rejection, man, because I have done it all. Okay, listen, and when I say I've attempted and I've done it all, I've done it all. Okay, I've had guys want to kick my ass, because I don't know, I didn't care. Like, that was part of it. I said, look, there's no there's no law that says I can't try to hit on a chick just because she's with a guy. There's no law that says that. So I've done everything from one extreme all the way to the other, to where, like, the most docile thing you can imagine. So the whole thing, I hold the contention that social conditioning of women, like, they go out on the weekends with their girlfriends, and the mother hen, they're, unless you hold some incredible social status, and I'm not just saying, oh, it's money. It's just that, look, it's not that. I'm not saying that, because there's plenty of wealthy people, but I guarantee they get their needs met. A powerful, successful man, don't give me this bullshit that, oh, they have a hard time finding somebody to love them. Don't give me the nonsensical, indecent proposal thing, because that is bullshit. Movies. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's truth. There's a little bit of truth in every film. No argument there. But the reality is, life is not the movies. The movies are 2 hours to they gotta wrap. They gotta keep your attention. Look, a movie like The 40-Year-Old Virgin, in reality, if some dude is 40 years old and never had sex before, there's people like that would commit suicide. And that's not funny. That's not funny. Like, and of course, the opener of that movie, when he has a heart on, of course they got to put something funny like that. That's an attention getter, and they make a joke about that. But you're not looking at it from the reality of a guy that can't get laid. I mean, that's a sad thing. Like, but how many people can? It's easy to make fun of somebody and point the finger at them, and because it's easy, like, a clown, like, Charlie Chaplin, he can act like an idiot, but it's funny, and so that was the whole thing about something like that. But you see, I get it, because I went out for years and years and years and years and years and years and years, okay, and I, would always get the same fucking thing, it's and you know it's not it's yeah, I'm not going to argue, you know everybody's unique and individual and stuff, but let me tell you something. It's a beautiful woman has an absolutely, it's like, no problem, they're hit on you don't notice it because, if you try, you're just another John, like you're not, look, and I'm talking about places like that it doesn't matter where. They call it infield, they call it day game, they call it whatever. I've always held the contention that meeting a woman during the day is the best thing because at night their guard is up, like it's a, now in a nightclub and stuff, it might be, a little, if you're dancing, because, I've gone out for thousands upon thousands of nights. I mean, I know this sounds ridiculous, but this is true. This is what I did my whole life. And, I, again, like I didn't do things generically. The generic way, like, of being either a pickup artist or a conservative kind of guy that meets somebody and you meet the girl in college or something. I didn't do any of this, because it didn't work. I wasn't trained. Nobody, I just hold the belief I'm a short, bald Jewish guy that you're not going to get nothing, like unless you're successful. And I didn't become like I chased the worst passions. I chase things that unless you make it like super big and famous, then you're something. But if you don't, you're nothing. So there's a price to pay. Everything there's a price to pay. There's guys that got married, when they were young, and they say, I shouldn't have done that. And then there's guys like me that fucked up, like the couple times when women beautiful, I just didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do, and it's over. Like you can't go back. What can you do? Like I used to be, my attitude was not like now. I'm more humble. I'm more calm. Um, it's almost impossible to get a rise out of me. I'm human, so it is possible. But my point is that I am not one of those kind of guys that, some guy says, you're bald, like get me mad or make fun of me or something. Because I learned something like from all the, God, all the reading I've done, listening to Wayne Dyer, all the books I've read. But I learned something that's incredibly powerful. This one guy told me this, and this is one of the most powerful statements I've heard in a long time. He goes, I don't get mad over things I can't control. Can you imagine that? Somebody cuts you off in traffic. Well, you don't get mad. You can't control the way that person drove. Somebody calls you something. You don't get mad because you can't control what they say. Can you imagine how powerful you would be if you didn't get mad over things you can't control? It's something that is not taught, like it's nobody taught this. My parents didn't live long enough, so, but my point is that nobody taught me that in all my growing up years. Nobody said you don't get mad over things you can't control. I didn't, it sounds so common sense, but think about how mad I could piss people off. It's so easy. I'm not going to get in it, but I'm telling you, like, I've had guys when I've gone out, I've done shit. They get so mad they want to kill me because they did not understand that. They did not understand the common thing that, that I don't get mad over things I can't control. Like that's so profound. It's a really profound statement. If you really think about it now. Now I don't drive. But I've seen people get mad, it cut me off in traffic, did this, or like of crossing the crosswalk, some car goes over. I say what goes around comes around, and it doesn't, it's like you have no bearing on other people's lives. You don't know what they do. So it's really important. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, I listen to Dr. Wayne Dyer talk about this shit. I mean, and I'm just sitting there going, wow, now again, I'm older. I'm almost 50. So, now the thing is, I'm not saying, I've seen older people that they're just set, they're curmudgeons, they're set in the ways. They're not. I continually learned over years of like reading and, like I said, watching a lot of things. I'm trying to figure out, like, now I'm not blaming women. I'm not blaming, society for things. But again, I do blame social conditioning. I think that, and again, I'm not a woman, so like you cannot, judge, criticize them because they see, like, let me give you an example. A couple weeks ago, there was a dance in Fullerton, and the women that I met, this one, and it was like this older Latina women. They were like early 50s, maybe 55 or 50, I don't know, 52. And when they turned the lights, he goes, "Oh boy, you're really gonna get to see what we look like now." And I just, you know, now again, I know I'm a visual guy, but that's bullshit. You think because I was dancing with her for 2 3 hours because they turn on the lights now and I see, oh my god, yeah, she has a little wrinkles more. Oh yeah, like I'm a fucking, you know, yeah, looking for. It's so amazing how superficial. Like now they're about themselves. They could be the furthest thing from the thing. Now I know I'm into now. I'm not going to lie to you now. When I first meet women, I'm into the physical attraction. That's me. I'm sure a lot of guys are too. You're not the only one. But the thing is that when something dumb like that, when they say that, oh, let's turn the lights on now you're going to see what we really look like. I wouldn't be with you if I wasn't visually attracted to begin with anyway. So, it's like in their mind, this type of look of they watching these movies, watching these things. Now, I it's I don't know. It's something that now I give kudos, to the win now. But again, look how far I have to go to where, like, to be able to meet these women, fucking far. Like I'm not meeting them within anywhere near around where I live. No way, no way. Now that's not my own. That's not my own. Uh, 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 this is just the way it is, based on my age and environmental, like places like around where I am. Guest list, bottle service, can't get in. Uh, there's a myriad of factors that are the reasons for this. So it's the way it is. I mean, I'm not going to answer direct questions, because this is not like you trying to counsel or give me therapy. This is my show. Remember, this is me. I'm the one that talks about my own experiences. And so the whole idea is that if it can help you, that's great. But otherwise, this is not a forum, So I just want you to know that I talk about my own personal endeavors. I hate using struggles because when you say struggles, you're like, it is a struggle because in life, anything worth going after, if it's easy, then it's not. Look, everything. There's nobody that I've ever met that hasn't had problems in life or something like that. But mine are so, like, to most people, they're like, wow, your biggest problem is you can't find a place to go to dance, and exactly, um, it's so it's so you would think that but it's not, because you're not me. You're not me. You haven't gone out for thousands of nights and used to going out there and having a good time, and it's basically all taken away from you. Now, this was even before COVID. It didn't matter. Like, it was I because I've watched it all change. So you got to understand. Like what that's my HDV. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Um, see, most guys look. I know. The generic pick up the way that most guys do. They go to bar, they go wherever, they go up to the woman, they try to do this and that.
I don't do that shit because in my mind I think that I'm not like most guys, and I just hold the contention that because I am not of high status, then you got to be something different. Now everybody's different. Everybody's got something that they have to offer. Like I don't know. Most people have social circles. I don't. Okay, so it's called lone wolfing. And look, I've done this thing all. I've been called. I've stood outside of. I've gone to places that weren't for me, and I've had women call me pervert. I think they're lesbian or something. But I've had it all. You got to understand, because if you've tried everything, then there's no fucking way that you're not going to have a combative situation. You're not going to have people want to kick your ass. Well, that falls into combative. Women are going to ridicule you. You're doing things abnormally, because if you've really tried everything, then that means you've gone through the whole spectrum of things that most people are going to think, well, what is there something wrong with this guy? But those people that criticize, they're not there to help you. They are not there to help you, because it is not, you are, in a, you have to understand, like, look, I've seen in the gay bars, I've seen the gay guys get mad at each other. So look, it's like it's not that, oh, they got it made, and oh, they got it, they can go to the Abbey, and then they meet everybody, they can get laid every night. You don't understand. There's nothing perfect for anybody. There's nothing perfect for anybody. Now the problem is, I said this before, and I will say it again. There is not one place that you can tell me, not one environment, maybe a singles mixer. There used to be speed dating. Yeah, speed dating was the closest thing to it before, like really online dating. But even now, it doesn't matter. There's not one place that you can tell me for sincerely single people only to go and possibly meet any night of the week. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. And I don't understand why. Because I'll tell you why. No woman is going to go to a place by herself and saying, I don't have anybody. I'm looking to meet some. They don't want to appear desperate and needy. Guys will go. I know, because I have gone to speed dating. That was the closest thing I ever found, where the women sit at the table and then the guy goes around, like at 5 minutes, you get to talk to a woman. You pay $35. There's like 10 women there. And I looked at it like this. I go, hey, at least I'm going to a place where there's going to be 10 single women that I'm going to get to hit on in the span of an evening, guaranteed. And they're single. They're there because it's a single speed dating thing. And then I started getting thrown out of them. Well, because I was an asshole. Like I used to be different. I'm not like now. I don't drink anymore. And that helped a lot. Um, but I was a very combative person. I was very, like, because of my competitive background, it rubbed off. But it doesn't work. You have to, again, you have to understand. I continually remind myself that because you're thinking about your needs. I want to fucking get women. I want to have fun. I want to have this. But they will give you, okay? They'll give you once they know you, once they get to know you. But the thing is, you can't even get to that point without, and I appreciate, your thing there, but it's, I just hold the contention that you got to get outside, of your comfort zone. For me, it's the area. It's the area. It's this area. This area is not good enough. See people taking Uber. And I'm standing outside Piggy. I notice like they get in their car. They're not from around here. They whatever reason they're there. I don't know why. I don't know why. Now, again, dance next Saturday and Saturday night in Irvine. I will probably schlep all the way down out there. Um, it's really, really far. It really is. And I hope it's in the big ballroom. I'm gonna probably ask them just to make sure, because if I go out there and it's in one of those tiny little rooms, and well, New Year's Eve will be in the big one, and I will fucking. I mean, I'm not gonna go 40, 50 miles away from here and get fucked it. Like again. I mean, it's like I know. I always say. I always laugh. I go, the gods will be laughing. That's what I say. The gods are laughing. Like there's a movie, Clash of the Titans. If you've never seen it, and it's like the Greek gods, where they can see what the people are doing, right? And I hold this contention like that they're getting a good laugh off of you. Now I know it's you know it's funny. Like they say there's humor in other people's misery, and it's and I get that. Like it takes. Listen, I agree. Like if this is funny for you, like I try to make it, because you if you can't laugh at yourself, if you take shit too seriously, it'll bleed through. What I mean by that is women will see that. Believe me, like I said, everybody has struggles. Can you imagine women that fucking got to deal with, and they got to deal with getting older, which is like the biggest curse you can imagine for them. Now, think about this. I go to a fucking club 50 miles away, 35 miles away, that are with women 50, 55 and over. Like, I mean, you would think, like, you know, and everybody tells me, "Oh, you're so young. What are you doing here? What are you doing?" Because you don't understand how hard it is. I like all ages, well, women in their 20s, let's be specific, all ages. Uh, but the thing is, for me, I notice when a woman's like, you know, I mean, and again, I know I said this 10,000 times, but you're not going to find like a fucking Paula Abdul or a J Lo, the 50-year-old woman that looks like that. I mean, I thought him. Now, let me tell you, I have seen, I have seen at some of these events years ago. It's very, very rare. Like it was a Halloween. It was like 6 years ago, and I was like, "Whoa!" They do exist. They do exist, but they know. Okay, look, you gotta understand. Most guys have good taste. Most guys, and they're all gonna look at something that's like, or as I like to go like this. I don't know why I do that, but I do. Well, I do it here. I won't do it. Look, let me tell you something. You don't want to creep women out, and I know. I'm talking to myself. You have to understand this. I'm not talking. I'm talking to myself, because I know the 3 second rule, and I do that generally. And now, sometimes the problem is, here's one of my problems. When I see something I like, my mind starts going. It's like, oh shit, fear of, so does the light here. The fear of rejection. Oh shit, like if I approach her and she says no, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be down in the dumps. I'm gonna be, damn, Now, I get more upset. The only thing that upsets me is not trying. Rejection is okay. Not trying kills me. I mean, we're talking like I go home at night and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? And I know what the fuck is wrong with me, because when I see what I like, I just like, you dream about it, right? And there it is. And then like I just couldn't imagine and going up and then it's like, you're gonna say something wrong. She's not gonna like the way you look. or you fucked up somehow, or she asked somebody, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now, a fast rejection, I'm not interested. You know, a fast rejection, okay, that doesn't hurt so much because I tried. But what hurts is like not knowing, that like is the worst. Now, here's the problem. I have tried. I have tried many, many times the women that I find really attractive, and it's always the same story. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Oh, no. Oh, or it gets even better. Like you give them your card, and they act like they're kind of interested, and they never call ever. I've had a woman, this incredibly beautiful one, said, "I'm so interested. I'm so interested." She never called. They, I mean, it's like that's my reality. Okay, that's my reality. Now, I'm not the only guy that gets rejected or the women. I know, it happens a lot. But I'm just telling you, like, you would think that, you know, this wouldn't be a Herculean endeavor. Now, I know why it is. I know why it is. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. The reason why it's so difficult is because, look, everybody has, I told you, I don't have any, I have a couple friends, right? They don't go out. They're not, it doesn't apply to them. But my point is that you have, like, you know, uh, to allow something in, you have to give something up. You have to. You have to. There's no way. There's not enough time in the day. You can't keep adding things and doing other things. There's no fucking way. If you have a job, it occupies a certain amount of time. If you have a family, it occupies a certain amount of time. If you hang out with your friends, it occupies a certain amount of time. So for a woman to allow me in, that means she has to give something up. And they're not going to do that unless it holds more value than what's in already. That's why they hang out with their girlfriends, because that's what you're asking them to give up something to allow you in. Now it does happen. It does happen if you bring enough to the table and you're really something, but that's the problem. You have to have so much to offer, to change the dynamic of what it is. A beautiful woman, can you imagine what a beautiful woman, they hold so much currency because they're young, their pussy is good, they're beautiful. That's the reality. Now, what really agitates me is when I go to one of these older women dance and they're not, what though? Maybe they're too self-conscious or something. They're afraid. They're like, well, he's going to see me naked. He's going to go, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know. I don't know. But it's an older, and again, with all due respect, an older woman's is like chump change compared to, like, a beautiful 25 or something like that in their prime. I mean, it's reality. It's not I didn't make this up. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry. Like, and the problem is that if you're too, I don't need to tell them that, they know. But the sad reality is that, and you can't, you can't be brutally honest with that. That's not going to help you, because it's just the way it is. A beautiful woman, it's a walking ATM machine. They have currency. They have their pick, and the thing is, they're getting bombarded by guys like me. That are better looking, more game, more to offer. They're more suave. They know what to say. They're more like they're really confident, but they're masters of communication. They're real, like, see, I spent 30 years dancing, so I'm pretty good. I've been around a long time doing that. But these guys, they know how to talk to women, like they really know how to get into their psyche to get what they want. You know, now it could be like this neuro linguistic programming, could be mind manipulation, whatever it is. They're really good. So it's not that saying, oh, because I'm not good looking enough, oh, because I'm not tall enough, because I'm not rich enough. I'm not saying, you know, now all those things help. All those things, of course, help. The more you have to offer, the better you are. Like if you're a famous actor, you know, you've got something, everybody knows who you are, you know, that's extreme power. But how many Harrison Fords are there? How many Warren Beatty's are there? How many Brad Pitts are there? So, you know, how many like musicians are there? You know, like that you know, it's not that they're famous, it's that they're fucking rich, okay? You know, TMZ, they show you all these. It's not that Jennifer Lopez is Jennifer Lopez. It's that Jennifer Lopez is worth in excess of $100 million. You know, it's power, it's money. You know, like that's all it is. You know, fame. It doesn't matter really. What matters is they know you're fucking rich. You're a target. That's what it is. So for a beautiful woman, forget about celebrity. I'm just saying beautiful women in general. It's like walking currency. It's and they know like they you know. So what do you expect? You know, like you're trying to like you know get something that everybody wants. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, and it's a frustrating thing because if you early what I as I when I started this episode, I told you I said the In and Out Burger. You're hungry, so it's like oh let me go get something good to eat, something good to eat. You can go and buy it, right? Because you pay and they give it. You know, I know it sounds stupid and cliche, but you understand what I'm saying. That it's different. Like when it comes to wow, like look at that beautiful woman. Like I want to I want to go out to dinner with her. Or I want to have sex with her. Whatever, you know, whatever. You know, I take it in progression. But do you see like it's not that simple, you know, like it's not that simple because it's the burgers it like doesn't decide, you know, like you know it's you know it's a woman decides, you know, it's up to her if she wants to go out with you. And what does she do? She has to decide, and that decision is based upon you compared to every other guy that wants her. Why you, you know? And what bothers me is that I do something that's different, that I think is cute, that I think is unique, that I think is fun, that I think is interesting, that I think is different. And God fucking damn it, you know, like the problem is because this goddamn social conditioning stuff, it doesn't shine here, you know. Sorry, you know, but that those the social conditioning is a product of you know what happened, you know, like things, times changing. I lived through it all, you know. I know this is not the 1970s. I know it's not the 80s anymore. It was different, you know, before this, you know, like now, look, I'm not blame, you know, this is great, you know, like it has its functions, but, you know, it's also changed things like that has made things worse, you know, like in many ways, in many ways. Now, the generation that's coming up, that's all they're going to know is this, you know. I was around before this, you know, you go to a nightclub, you go to a bar, you know, like, and it was kind kind of like there were places for single people, like, you know, it was because they were my age. When I was 25, you were around the people that were 25, you know, they're coming up with your generation kind of thing. What happens is any woman that's got currency, which is most of them, unfortunately, what I'm looking for is you know, I don't even, it doesn't fucking matter. That's not important because I've talked about it. You go back, you can watch. I got hundreds of episodes talking about specifics of what I look for in a woman. But what happens is when a woman starts going up in age, 25, it goes faster for them because their looks fade faster. Generally. And a woman's currency is their looks. How do you explain all the makeup sales? How do you explain the $1 billion woman, the Kardashian, the make? Of course, it's their hair and their makeup. That's immense. How they dress. To them, that's everything. It's not the only thing. But I mean, what bothers me is that they invest so much in that instead of investing into something that I think is worth more. And that's paying attention. Instead of trying to look good for all their friends. Oh, you look so beautiful. Oh, you look this. Just a fuck about. What about who you are as a person? What about paying attention, to guys, sincerely good-hearted men that are interested? That's not that important. What's important is how you look to women because they want to appease society. Society is not that important. The right person is. That's social conditioning. That's the fucking problem with it. The billboards everywhere, the commercials everywhere telling you that you gotta look younger, that your hair has gotta be perfect, your skin's gotta be perfect, you gotta dress perfect, you gotta look perfect. For who? For who? For everybody. Fuck everybody. Everybody, that doesn't matter. To me, the only person that matters, there's two people that matter, you and the right person. That's it. That's all. But the problem is, everybody, these women, they look at all this stuff and they go, oh my God, look at her. Oh my God, look at her. Oh, fuck, who cares? I went to this thing at this bar. It was Britney Spears. It was on my birthday, ironically, the conservatorship, when she won the conservatorship. So the Piggy, the bar that I go to, all these chicks showed up. They all dressed up like Britney Spears and they played Britney Spears music. Now I know the choreographed dance. I'm a dance master. It doesn't fucking matter. I can dance to all of her songs. But all these women are showing up. You can't. You're not gonna look like her. You ain't gonna fucking. And it's like I'm looking at these women and it's like they're making fools out of themselves. They're trying to look like her. It's like there's only one. Okay. There's only now I see lookalikes. I know all that shit, but it's like look, that's a diamond, there's people hit the lotto. That's all that is. That's all she is, okay? That's all she was. It was a tremendous marketable personality that was around at the perfect time, that had a generic cute look, like a Marilyn Monroe did. Like she was from the Marilyn Monroe, wherever the fuck she was from, and then they pushed her forward, and then everybody gets on the bandwagon, and because it's an immensely bankable commodity. It's all she was. Britney Spears, same fucking thing. It's all she was, okay? And she got real lucky. That's all it is. She's got that generic, whatever she's from, Midwest, whatever, and they pushed the fuck out of her, and she struck it rich. How many people can say that? There's a couple, like that's it. There's a handful of those fucking people. That's all. And I don't fall for it. I don't. It's like I don't. It just doesn't apply to me. Like I watch all this, and I live right in the middle of all of it. Okay, and it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter because you're not. They don't need you. You're not. You're not gonna get it. Like there's so many people. They come out here. They live the false, delusional dreams. Now, there's nothing wrong with having dreams in life, But the reality is the reality. You know, you can go up to Sunset. There's these modeling agencies. You can look in the window. There's picture after picture after picture of women with their headshots. You know, it never ends. They all think they're something. They all, like my ex-girlfriend, they all think they're something. They all think they're something, and they're nothing. Now, I'm not trying to put them down. Well, I am, but I'm just telling you what I think. I'm entitled to my own opinion. Um, it's just amazing. Like, it really is. Like, because I guess the generic thing that they're told when they're young is, "You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful." And you get told that. You get told that, and it's like, it warps the mind. Like, it puts them up on this pedestal to where this woman is like, "Oh, I'm so beautiful. Oh, I'm so beautiful. Oh, I'm so beautiful." And who is it? Ross Jeffries. It says the only reason to put a woman on a pedestal so you could look up her skirt. And so he's funny. Like he made a good. He's great about that. But the problem herein lies that if you go around and you demean women, you try to be different that way. Guess what? You'll get their attention, all right. But you're just gonna get this from them. That's it. They're gonna go fuck you. It doesn't work. I've tried it because I've tried everything. Remember? I've said I've tried everything. Now, the contention of just being yourself, a very vague statement. Um, of course, you should never be anybody but yourself in life. This is very accurate. But let me tell you something. If you are really yourself, like I am, it comes with an immense price. An immense price, okay? Not a heavy price, an immense price. There's a difference. And it is one that I can assure you almost nobody was willing to travel because it is a fucked up route, okay? I mean, we're talking about, like, you could be digging in a mine, like, you're, I don't know, like, I've never dug in a mine before, but just imagine having a pickaxe, whatever, and being underground, and you're breathing in the fucking dust and everything like that, and you don't know if there's a vein of gold this far away or none at all, and you're just chipping away day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, okay? And that's what it feels like, all right? Because you're holding the truth and the contention that, what, there's gotta be, if I grind away long enough, I'm gonna hit something. You may never hit anything, okay? You may never hit anything. There is no guarantees. I can tell you because I've been chasing passions for 30 years. All right. 30 years. So I can tell you from what longer than some younger people have been alive that there is no guarantee of getting that, of becoming that, of achieving that. Don't let these fools on YouTube or whatever. Not me. I mean, I have nothing to. I'm doing this for free. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to. You know. I think my time's coming to an end anyway. So, like, I want something, to remember me by. That's why I do this. That's all it is. It's a diary. It's a journal. But it's actually there to help. Like, if you get anything off of it, great. If you don't, I can't. What do you want from me? Like, I'm imparting my own personal, tribes and tribulations of struggles of trying to, get his needs met as a man. Like, for the most part, there's other things too, but that's the major one. That's the one that bothers me the most out of anything because, I don't understand how something so biologically natural can be so Herculeanly, incredulously difficult. Uh, based on a society, like that I've noticed. And listen, I tell people, go somewhere else, go somewhere else. You go somewhere else, dude. I'm not moving to a third world country to hope to meet a woman. I'm not moving to another city. It's going to be the same thing. Like I've heard this. It doesn't matter because I've been to New York. I've been to Las Vegas. I've been to Arizona. So, I'm not going to some small town. I'm not going to another city that might not be as competitive. I'm not going anywhere unless I want to. So, I'm just saying that this is how I feel reality is. And, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's the thing is, everybody thinks they have an answer for this, but there is no answer. There is no answer because what happened is social conditioning. People go through life, they're conditioned to think a certain way, society functions a certain way, people act a certain way. And period. Now, there's anomalies everywhere. I know that. It's not all the same. But for the most part, um, it is. It is. Look, I went to five places tonight. It's all the same. Even last night, I went to all these cliquish. They all have their friends. They're there. They do the same things. They're not there to meet anybody new, and that's it. So that's the way it is. It's the way it is. Again, you're looking for something that pretty much doesn't exist. So anyway, I do appreciate, that's enough after an hour. I do appreciate you listening. Please subscribe or whatever. That's all I have to say. And for now, I just gonna forget about, for now. I try not to get upset about anything, but it's just a battle all the time.